Good afternoon, good evening, this is John Paul Wright. I'm coming to you from Tokyo, Japan. This is my review of Game of Thrones, Episode 1, Season 8, and I thought it was really good. I'm not going to get into little details because honestly, I can't even remember little details, and I just want to get into the big stuff. So, first of all, we have a lot of reunions, and it's just the show to me is emotional, and the thing is, everything is built so well on such a good foundation of characters, relationships. So when you see a character get together for the first time in years for you, and I think what's years for them, it really kind of hits you. It's not just oh, this story is good, these characters are good, I'm enjoying this. It's really kind of hits you inside in a way that no other show really does. And the first one was with Arya and Genji, and Genji, if I'm saying that right, I think I am. I think it's Genji. They meet for the first time in years, and even just this meeting between them two, who aren't the two biggest characters, and they don't even have an actual romance. It's just even seeing that was so great. We see Jon get together with Bran. We see Jon sees Sansa. He hasn't seen her. I mean, he's seen her recently, but not so recently. Anyway, just all these reunions. We see Theon Greyjoy meet with his sister, and the part where Jon finds out he's king was just so emotional. There's this article where this shill says Rey is done right and Jon Snow is done wrong because Rey is nobody and it's original, and Jon Snow is unoriginal because he ends up being the king. And it's not really about what the characters end up being in the end. It's about how it makes you feel when they become that thing. And when Jon finds out he becomes king, it makes you think about, first of all, his love life, Daenerys, who he's in love with now and how that relationship's going to go. It makes him think about his father, who now he's got a different perception of his whole life, and it gives him a different perception of himself because he kind of didn't want the responsibility of king, and now he finds out he's king. And with Rey, it's just this surface level, you're nobody, you're awesome. Oh, I wonder who you are. And there's really no depth to it. So, yeah, I'm going to get to this article one day. Got a little off track, but the point is, when Jon finds out he's king, it's just one of the best moments in the show. It's just one of the best moments in some episode that's not even really going to be so great in the long run compared to all the other episodes, because it's just a build-up. It's just the first episode. We see Jon fly a dragon, and I guess we knew that was coming, but actually, he was a little clunky. I thought he'd be a little bit more of a man about it, but anyway, that was cool. It's kind of funny how the dragon kind of got a little jealous when he kissed Daenerys, and see, I'm talking, I'm excited. I'm wow, this is great. It's a real quality show with quality writing. There's no social justice warrior woke BS that we're all, have our pinpoint eyes on with Marvel and Star Wars. It's just totally good. And that thing at the end where that I can't remember the name of the kid, but the kid who was undead, his scream was eerie. It was really freaky and scary, and that kind of bugged me out. And then Braun, right? We have the thing with Braun, and even with just this setup episode, there's so many twists and turns, and now they're kind of setting up that Braun might turn on Jaime and Tyrion and kill them, possibly. That really gives you something to think about Braun and his character. Will he do that? It's just so many layers of story and interesting points about the show. I could go on rambling. This is a little bit of a rant review, but I just gotta say, I just think it's probably my favorite show of all time, if not just my favorite entertainment of all time. In the top, it's gotta be top 5 or top 3. I mean, Star Wars, when it's good, I think is the best thing for me. I don't think Game of Thrones can beat Lord of the Rings, just solely based on originality. Tolkien really created all these elves and trolls and undead. He really created everything and put it out there in the mainstream. Just on originality alone, I don't think Game of Thrones can beat it, but it comes pretty damn close for me, because there are certain elements of Game of Thrones that Lord of the Rings doesn't quite have, and that's mostly emotion and these layers of stories. And even when the Hound meets Arya, it's this moment. It's like you just don't know exactly how things are gonna go down. I was just editing and I ended the video and I forgot like some really important stuff. Okay, so in the very first episode, like 7 years ago, Jamie pushes Bran out the window and Bran, as a result, cannot walk for the rest of his life. This episode ends where we have Bran finally confronting Jaime Lannister, the man responsible for the fact that he can't walk. Is there like really a better cliffhanger to end on that? This was like one of the best cliffhangers I've ever seen that probably got like 10 million people into the show in the first place, and now it's like 7 years later you're confronted with this amazing cliffhanger. That's what I'm saying about the show. I think it's just one of the best ever. I said that. I'm gonna say it again. Oh, and I'm also forgetting how we find out that Daenerys had Sam Tarly's brother and father killed. Now we have that complex thing between Jon and Dany at some point because Sam is like Jon's like best friend. There's so much. I know this is a review. What I'm saying is that stuff was just such quality stuff. I give this episode like a 9 out of 10. Okay. Ending the video here. You guys let me know what you think. I'm doing shout outs, special thanks. I got a Patreon, got a Twitter, got it all set up. See you next time.